Welcome back to Jack Attack. This time for another talk about hair loss and psychology.
Ow, man. Things are kind of bright right now. What happened? I don't remember you wearing that shirt at the beginning of this video. Okay, so where were we? It looks like we were talking about a comment on raw egg to stop hair loss. Don't try this at home. A video I made with my mom, so my dad's here to help me kind of with this video here. I did have my mom put a raw egg on my hair to see how that would help with hair loss. And I got a comment saying, I thought you were vegan though. How will you climb back down from this? I don't know. Vegans will be so disappointed in this unethical decision to use animal products, resulting in the decline of all your years of hard work building this channel, end quote. And fair enough. I have been a vegan for over 4.5 years. And that means I don't eat eggs, and I haven't eaten eggs in over 4.5 years. But I did take one for the team as being the human guinea pig that I am. I did not consume and digest the egg, but it did go through the pores of my skull. So there was that little bit of a violation there with the whole vegan lifestyle. Here's how I come to terms with it, and here's how I sleep. Here's how I will sleep well tonight, is that knowing that ultimately, as a vegan, let me start by saying this. Tomorrow makes a whole year, or actually Christmas Day makes a whole year that I've been using the rosemary and argan oil. But I've also been a vegan since the age of 31, and I'm 36 and a half now. So, we could try to debate, well, is the fact that I'm a vegan really helping to slow down the hair loss? It's a possibility, and I can't say either way. But ultimately, I will say this. My reasoning for being a vegan is selfish. I want you to quote me on that. Nick Shell is a vegan for selfish reasons, and I want to go over those with you. Well, as I just discussed, obviously, for the fact that it might be causing my hair to keep from leaving me as soon, because I became a vegan about a year after I turned 30. So, and the 30 is when I started noticing thinning and what I perceive as Norwood 3. So it could be that that's been slowing down my hair loss or recession. That's a selfish benefit of being a vegan. Also though, for about 22 years, I suffered from constant sinusitis. Have any of you guys had this thing where you wake up in the morning and you can't breathe out of one side of your nose? And so you blow your nose, nothing comes out, but it's just like air pressure on one side, and it can last for hours. Even after you started your day, you're walking around and it's just this pressure, like you can't really breathe out of that side of your nose. And then finally you lay down and it's like it falls over the other side, and now you've got on this side. Okay? Plus I was always getting sinus infections all the time. I mean, even from the time I was a teenager, I was always sick, and it was always sinus infections and sinusitis. Plus, by the time I started college, I had eczema, dyshidrosis all over my hands. I had this red infection on my skin. It was very itchy, and it made life very difficult for me. Plus, I was always allergic to animals. If I walked into someone's house and they had a cat upstairs in the bedroom, I'd immediately start, my eyes itching, I'd start sneezing, and I'd have a headache for the rest of the day from that, even if I took a shower afterwards. Now, all those things went away in just one weekend after I became a vegan. I just experimented with it. That was over 4.5 years ago. And so what I want you to get from this is, I am a vegan for selfish reasons. And those things I told you, the possibility that my hair is continuing to, to stay where it is and not continue to fall out, though a year before that it had started. Okay, there's that, which I can't prove either way. But how many male vegans do you know? You don't know a lot, and especially a lot who have tracked this progress. Then there's also the fact that all my sinus problems are gone. I'm not allergic to animals, and obviously I have no skin conditions anymore. So there's a lot of selfish reasons that led to it. Here's what I'm going to say. Traditionally, the reason that people became vegans was for animal rights, for the animals. And I'm all for that, by all means. I'm all for, let's be kind to the animals. In fact, I saw a video where we could reduce global warming by 15% if we all became vegan. Because instead of producing all that gas in the animals and feeding them all the grain, we could be eating that grain instead of feeding all the animals. So there's definitely lots of good benefits. I do it for health reasons, but I think the old school vegans did it more for animal rights. Now what we've seen though, in the past 3 years, the amount of vegans have went from 1%, actually 0.5% to 6% of America now. Now that increase is not because of animal rights, it's because of people like me who realize, hey, I was unhealthy before, and now I'm healthy. So for selfish reasons, I'm a vegan. That's why I'm a vegan. And if it has some side effects like I keep my hair, or it actually is better for the world and better for animals, then good. So I just wanted to make a video that addresses the fact that I say that most of the newer vegans in the last couple of years are like me. They're selfish vegans. They're doing it to be healthier. And as a nice side effect, other things might happen, like the animals are not being abused to the same degree. And maybe we're even keeping our hair better, for all I know. So those are my thoughts on that. I'm really curious to know if anybody has anything to add to that. But I am a vegan for selfish reasons. Quote me on that. There's no shame in that. Because in the end, I'm not going to convert anybody to becoming a vegan by saying, you should do it for the animals. What are they going to say? They've got identity protective cognition. They're going to say, oh, but you can't get enough protein. Well, of course, obviously, I'm getting enough protein, 4.5 years of this, I'm fine. But they don't get that. As long as they think they need protein from animals, they're going to keep eating animals. They don't care about the animals. But when I can say, I had eczema, I had sinusitis, I had pet allergies that all went away. And check this out too. My glasses that I've always worn, when I went back to the eye doctor after becoming a vegan about after a year, the lady said, what? She basically said, how do you not have headaches? Because the lenses in here are too strong. In other words, my eyesight got better enough to where I had the wrong prescription, and she had to actually make it weaker. So it's selfish. I admit it. It has nothing to do with animal rights, but good for the animals that they get an advantage of me being selfish. So there you go. Do you have anything to add to that?
No.
All right. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more videos. And if you don't subscribe, you won't be able to watch them. It's easier because you won't get an email. And it will be a tragedy.